YouTube commentary channels are ruining YouTube. Well, at least that is what many creators and viewers believe. Soggy Cereal recently uploaded a video explaining why Slop content is ruining the platform. At first it seemed that it will just be another video complaining about React's content, but it turns out that Soggy made a lot of valid points and even revealed how Dogc manipulated his viewers.
Drama commentary genre, or how more and more people are calling it, the Slop center of YouTube. With fake titles, clickbaity yet forgettable thumbnails, videos that are 90% longer than they should have been, just content shamelessly being milked dry. I'm sorry, but how the fuck you make 3 20-minute videos for a total of 1 hour about like a single cool 10 DDM tweet and like 5 dumbass KSI and Logan Paul tweets in backlash to the release of a processed food product?
While I agree that some videos are definitely longer than they should be, there is a very simple reason on why YouTubers make videos so long. Simply put, the longer a video is, the more ads you can put within the video. Just to put into perspective how huge impact this makes, if you were to make an 8-minute video about a certain topic, let's say you could earn $3 for every 1,000 views this video gets. But if you would make the same video 30 minutes long, you could probably get $10 or even more for every 1,000 views. But as you can imagine, this comes with a few problems. For example, one of them being that if you make such a long video, it still has to be interesting. You just cannot add 22 minutes of additional slop and expect it to work. And while it seems that a lot of creators are doing this, I would say they still are really good at yapping, and they manage to make those 22 minutes entertaining, and sometimes they just add some interesting details, other times they talk about unrelated topics, but it still doesn't change the fact that those 22 minutes have to be entertaining, because if they weren't, the watch time would be bad and the video wouldn't do so well. In one part of the video, Soggy also talks about Pyrocynical, and he does end it on a positive note, but I would consider myself to be a Pyrocynical fanboy. And even though that yes, he does go off topic a lot of times, I really enjoy his content because it feels genuine, and a lot of times they might not even care about the drama so much and just want to entertain themselves for the meantime. Now let's move from me glazing Pyrocynical to how Dogc manipulated his viewers.
He claimed Mac was filthy rich, acting all emotional about getting $800,000. You could've just spent 3 minutes on going to the original video and see that Dogc manipulatively cut out the clip of Max saying that he's gonna give the prize money to his less fortunate friends.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I've got 3 friends of mine, childhood friends of mine, and they don't have a lot of money. I'm gonna make sure they don't have to worry about money anymore. I mean, my life's changed now.
Congrats, man. You deserve it.
Forever, bro.
You deserve it.
Dude, thank you. Thank you so much.
7 bathrooms.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I mean, my life's changed now.
This point in the video honestly shocked me because I myself used it as evidence in my video about Mac, and it's clearly my fault for not doing enough research. It's also crazy how Dogc managed to build up his reputation and trust within just a few videos. And while a lot of his points are valid, it feels like he misuses this reputation to occasionally slip in these out of context clips to make his narrative even more convincing, as you can also see here.
That when Dogc claimed the video was fake,
Shredder is CGI.
you could've just gone to that video to see that it's clearly not.
Dogc Metal is going in the world's largest shredder. Shred the car! Shred the car!
This time lapse on the 4th day of 7 days stranded at sea, you can clearly see there's no one in the shelter. These are their empty beds. But after a hard cut, magically 5 people are awake.
Faking your own challenges is obviously just pathetic. I remember in the back of my head, I was like, oh, Mr. Beast is such a busy person, such a CEO, hyper optimizing everything, and he's gonna spend 3 days buried underground or some stupid shit. So obviously I was right there, and these challenges aren't real.
Mr. Beast fakes his own challenges? No. This confirms that you don't do any research, because if you had just reached out to any actual Mr. Beast employees, you'd know the head of safety made them get off of the raft for about an hour for their own safety because there was a lightning storm.
This once again is a huge revelation. Even Ludwig had a call with Dogc about this, and it seemed really convincing that Mr. Beast actually faked this video, so I would be curious to know who gave this information to Soggy Cereal, but the reasoning does make sense. Even in the video you can see that there is is a huge storm, so it once again makes sense that they would leave for their own safety. Still, you can't really neglect that in the MrBeast video they do not acknowledge that they had to leave, even though it was for a short while, and I have to admit that the timelapse does look odd. Soggy then goes on to discuss probably the most important part of the video, which is YouTubers making serious accusations without proof.
These channels try to remove themselves from any journalistic responsibility or accountability behind short disclaimers that they aren't responsible for spreading misinformation, while simultaneously throwing these extremely damaging accusations out there.
Disclaimer, everything in this video is alleged. All parties talked about are innocent until proven guilty. Anything said or speculated is my opinion and not a fact. So obviously I was right there and these challenges aren't real. MrBeast's CEO and cousin accused of DV, alleged ex-drug addict, allegedly offered drugs or escorts to employees to keep them working late, alleged incident between him and a female colleague which led to her leaving the company, allegedly beat dogs, hit girlfriends, alleged ties to a Ponzi scheme from a previous job, lots of concerning stuff. So Mac was made out to be this random person,
which is also something he heavily criticized a fellow commentary channel WestJet for.
A few days ago, one of these Slop creators even got called out by Tom Dark for literally misreporting information that was all written down in a public document.
WestJet, did you read the document? Did you just skim it? This is your job. This is what you get paid to do. Like, did you not read it?
Why? Because he was too lazy.
90 pages? Bro, ain't nobody got time for that.
And then made extremely defamatory statements.
I didn't want to talk about the guy because at the end of the day, this is a breakup. There's two sides to the story, and I'm not going to be making assumptions based on her context. Obviously, her context is going to favor her and make him look as bad as possible, so I didn't want to really dig into that too much.
Hey man, there are two sides to a story, and the statements of one person might be biased. So I'll just lie about their statements. Imagine your local news channel completely slandering a person because they were too lazy to fully read a public document.
Now, I understand both sides here. I agree that as a YouTuber, you should at least make some effort to do basic research, and if not, either make it clear that it is your opinion or don't talk about it at all. And no, saying that it is allegedly doesn't really save you every time. And there are situations where if a controversy is ongoing, I don't think there is anything wrong with giving your takes and predictions on how it will end. But if you have a public document and you just don't read it, it's the same like reacting to a video on times 2 speed while skipping half of it and then giving your opinion on the whole video. It just doesn't make sense. However, I understand a lot of creators in this. On YouTube, everything moves so fast nowadays that if you don't make a video about it immediately, it's dead the next day. For example, when I made a video about the Logan Paul, KSI and MrBeast podcast, I made it with a 2-day delay and it was already too late. No one cared because it was old news. So I understand why so many creators rush to publish a video, but I also agree that there should be at least some minimal effort into the research, because at the end of the day, it is our job to at least pretend that we are trying to do so.
Oh look, More Pegasus uploaded another 3 hour and 30 minutes video on MrBeast, which is for 90% a compilation of his previous 12 videos, so it's just one big movie of re-uploaded, misinformative, stretched out slop.
Here I will disagree. There isn't anything wrong with compilations, and Pegasus is by far not the only one doing them.
See, people, including creators, are fucking tired of all these channels trying to convey as little information as possible a minute in their videos, that you now have people like Chatcat and Dolan Darkest going against the stream by uploading what, in my opinion, are essentially the exact same videos information-wise, with, in my opinion, even better jokes than their 20-minute counterparts.
Okay, sure, there is a lot of people tired of long videos, but don't you think that if that really was the case for majority of the viewers, then the videos wouldn't be doing so well? YouTube is a supply and demand market. YouTubers make the content the way they do only because it works.
I hate the fact that I now enjoy 2-minute videos on drama substantially more than a longer version. I feel like this would have never been the case 3 years ago, because back then, videos on even short-term drama were still filled with creative value, personality, or at least respected the viewer's time.
Again, I'm going to have to disagree. A few years ago, the commentary slop was probably even worse than it is now. Sure, you had YouTubers like iDubbbz that did it well, but you also had commentary channels like Leafy that literally spread misinformation and bullied kids for views. And keep in mind that while doing that, Leafy was one of the largest creators on the platform at the time. And I honestly think it all comes down to taste. If you enjoy watching slop, you can. And if not, you don't have to. This is why YouTube is amazing, and in most cases it will recommend content that you will enjoy. And as mentioned previously, YouTube is a supply and demand game. So I will end this video on don't hate the player, but hate the game. Thank you Sogi for making this video, because there were a lot of points that I agreed with, and overall it is definitely something that it is worth thinking about.